Imagine being forced to flee your home at just 2 years old. You left everything behind. Your house burns to the ground. You grow up in a refugee camp in a foreign country. For 30 years, you live as an outsider. Now, imagine that same child becomes the president of a nation he was forced to leave. This is the extraordinary story of Paul Kagame. Today, Rwanda is known as one of Africa's most remarkable transformation stories. The country has risen from the ashes of tragedy. It has become a symbol of hope and development. But the man who led this transformation lived a life that few could imagine. The journey of Paul Kagame took him from refugee camps to military intelligence, from guerrilla warfare to the presidency. His story is one of survival, determination, and controversial leadership. It is a story that begins with violence and ends with power. This is the untold story of how a refugee child became the president of Rwanda. In 1961, when Paul was just 2 years old, his family made a desperate decision. They gathered only what they could carry and fled their home. Soon after they left, looters emptied the house. Then they burned it to the ground. The family crossed the border into Uganda. They joined thousands of other Rwandan refugees streaming into the country. This is where young Paul would spend his childhood years. Life in the camps was extremely hard. Paul Kagame would later remember those difficult years. He said, "I was a refugee for 25 years, so almost the first part, 15 to 20 years, were difficult." In the refugee camps, young Paul befriended another boy named Emmanuel Giza. The life story of Paul Kagame is one of the most extraordinary in modern African history. Born into a privilege, forced into exile as a toddler, raised in refugee camps, trained as a soldier, and ultimately becoming the leader of his homeland.